I don't wanna die, but I ain't keen on living either. Not sure I understand this road I've been given. I sit and talk to God, but he just laughs at my plans. Is this how you've been feeling? Then this is the right video for you. And I am speaking through and honoring Robbie Williams for this wonderful song. And I think that song is just reflecting how it feels to going through some of these ego deaths, ego death. So what is an ego death? Well, it's when who you thought you were is not, you realize that's not really who you are. And also, like, you don't really know who you are at all, or like if you are anything, and you feel even more like connected to everything, people around you, like the whole consciousness, and you know that everything is connected, and all of this interlinked universe, and you feel a deeper sense of that you need to shift into something more service, that there is something that you can contribute to the whole, that you're less like egoistic in the way like, oh, how can this contribute to me, but you're more like, how can I contribute to others? Because the ego is, well, the ego, it's caring for itself, and now you've felt like that is releasing, and you're like, oh wow, okay, all of these things I felt was important for others to validate me, it's like, that's not important at all. I just want to be seen, and for the love that I am, that I now see that we all are. You might feel more rebellious in that way, and some people might think that you are being more egoistic in a way, because it might look like you are more egoistic when you are not conforming to the matrix ideals, or like maybe if you're not, but it can be a process to get out of it. I'm not saying that everyone has to just quit their 9 to 5, or like that it's bad to have a 9 to 5, because that's also like a thing in this spiritual, like basically that has nothing to do with anything, because it's just how you're living, your intention of living, and you don't have to live like others. You don't have to live remotely or travel the world if you don't have to, but many people might want that freedom, and that's another thing. Okay, this is another topic, but like ultimately you're going to feel very, or well, you already know how you feel, I don't have to explain, but it's also, but maybe you don't have the words on it. And I've felt the words from the process of this shedding is very much feeling like stuck, and like it's something heavy weighing you down, like you feel like you don't have the control, like something is controlling you. And that is like the ego clinging on even harder, because it doesn't want to die even though it is dying. Because once you have gotten here, there's no going back. I know that you might want to be like, oh, why can't I just be like the others? Like, I don't want this spiritual thing anymore. I don't want this lessons. I don't want this big responsibility, because you will feel this huge responsibility. But like, understand that this is a gift, and like it's also fun and exciting, even though you might not feel that it's fun and exciting right now, because it's very heavy. Things are coming to the surface, ways that you've been playing yourself small and confirming to other people's beliefs, and just like pleasing others, and you're really being set to a form of trial to like, can you keep that unconditional feeling of love? Like, can you reach that feeling even when you feel like you have nothing, like everything is falling apart, to still like be able to tap into that? And that is going to be, for you to do that, you can't go around and think, oh, I have to feel this love, and why don't I do that? Like, why um, have I been like, stop being so stuck in your head, and why do you feel so bad? Can't we just feel like we did before? Like like when you did not have this transformation, really, like you might have felt stuff like this similar before, but it's going to be extra heavy right now. And it's like, no, now we are here, we can't really just shift back to that. So understand and accept, basically. It can take a lot of time to just accept, or you might feel like in some moments you accept it, but in others it's like, because I've been struggling with this a lot. I realized that escapism, escaping, has been something I've been doing, like, but right now, after going through this, that you can also call like the dark night of the soul, I can't, the ways I used to soothe myself doesn't work anymore. That's also something you're going to realize. Like, I can't really sit and watch Netflix anymore without being like, oh, okay, but this is just, or I can, but not in the same way for long periods or ways like that. That was just like me going away from reality completely for longer periods of time. Now it's like I'm really in the reality, and that has though led me to like being stuck in these mind patterns of like, why is everything so heavy, and like just feeling up the trauma that has been coming up. And that is something you're gonna do, but also like letting yourself know that everything, you can't always be a warrior 24/7. Like, you can, well, you are a warrior because your body, you're like, wow, you're so hot and sexy in every way. Yes, but also you can, like, the thing that you're gonna shift into, like what is really the potent thing, is also like feeling the love for yourself. You might have started to feel it more and more, that it really wants to rise to the surface more, like, and now I don't mean the love like romantic love or like lust. You might feel like you don't feel lust anymore, like the sexual feelings for just that basic primal need might not be like something you feel at all anymore. At least that's been for me. Like, it's like dead, kind of. And I just feel like what is turning me on is like this. If it's someone that really can be on the deep soul level with me, because that's where I am. And really just be like, wow, you've come so far, like, because that's the thing, it's the light that is shedding on parts that you did not really feel the depth of before. That is the light on the dark, and then you see the dark more. But also it's like, wow, you have been able to like go this deep, like, cheer yourself for that. Like, wow, okay, we don't only have to be like in this, because that's why it feels the dark, like depression, and like, wow, everything is so heavy. And now I'm not saying that it's like that all the time, but it can really be much of that. And sometimes maybe you've gone days of just like purging and crying and stuff. For me, it's been like very much because I've been resisting it. Like, I don't want to, like, I've been feeling like I have to be somewhere else, and there's so much for me to do. Like, I want to travel, I want to be in Mexico right now, just on the beach, and I want to have these third eye activations. I want to just be with my people. I want to meet my soul family now, I want it now. And that's, of course you want, and that's your heart, and honor that and everything. but also like they are going to also value if you can look at this in yourself, because that is going to allow you to rise from it and shift and show up in another way. Because when you feel like there is something you gotta look at, but you're like, it's so heavy and it makes me feel bad, and I should be vibrating higher because you have had this, because you've been hearing from this new age spirituality and stuff that you always have to vibe high, or you've got that feeling. Like, of course, at times you should not, obviously, like, you are allowed to vibe high, but also like listening and feeling and being in this darkness is really something you gotta do as well. And even though it might look on the outside like you're not doing anything right now, because that's usually what's going to happen. It's going to be in a time when things are just, it's like there's nothing, it's not much going on. Like, it's gonna feel like this void. And that's also like, there's different names for all these stages. I'm not really going to, like, you can call it whatever. Like, I've heard there's this term like the void, that is usually like a bit after the dark night of the soul, I've heard, but it can be like any time, or like it can be, for me it feels like everything has just been a whole mess, like all of it at the same time. So it doesn't really matter what you call it, but basically what I'm saying is that you, like, it's you releasing this ego. Like, doesn't matter what other people think, or like how other people see you, and if it looks like you're not doing stuff, or like, well, maybe you don't have to do stuff right now. Maybe that's the whole fucking point. Like, and but then it's going to be a time where you really take the aligned action to get out of this, or like step by step you start like speaking your truth more. You start doing things that excites you in a way that does not maybe make sense to the old version of you either, but it's going to be like you can't resist it, and that's like, yes, go that way. Okay, like if it's going to be like some Tai Chi class, some yoga class that you would never like actually go on by yourself, or like feel the courage to do before, and you still might feel a bit like, can I really do this? I feel like so stupid, like I feel, what am I really doing? Like, yes, you do that. Okay, you go do you. It's going to be uncomfortable, but that's like, yes, please keep at it. You got it. And then things are unfolding, and everything is fine. Okay, relax, take it easy is another song here. Relax, take it easy. Okay, I'm not gonna sing more, but realize also. Realize, see with your real eyes, and realize that also things are not that serious. Like, laugh a bit, okay? Laugh. That is also what is going to heal. Also feeling the vibrating high. Like, I'm not a guru. You gotta be your own guru. I think a lot is going back to yourself and releasing the outside, because you by realizing how stuff has been having power over you, and how you have like let things dictate where you're going, you're ultimately you're gonna feel the pain of knowing that you have been doing that, maybe still are, because it's like what you're comfortable and what you're used to. To be able to shift out of that and start doing more and more of what feels like for you, good for you, and you dictating on your own terms is very key. But then there's that thing that you gotta keep as well. There's a lot you gotta keep at the same time, and that is the ultimate, like, very hard stuff, is to also keep the darkness and like realizing it, and also the like lightness of who you really are, and at the same time being kind to yourself when your ego is like, you can't just feel this darkness, you gotta like get things going, you gotta show people that you're successful in this world, like you gotta blah blah blah, or why aren't you like still in this relationship with this person, why are you like showing up in a different way, to tell that ego, like, because it's a different time now, we are operating from different, we are having standards now, we're having, yeah, it's different now, it's just that was then, this is now, that was then, this is now. You might feel inclined to listen to more spiritual mentors, and like Abraham Hicks and Alan Watts I've been listening to a lot, and like just don't get too sucked into that you forget like you are here and now in this staying rooted, and like what small steps or like what things you can integrate. Like it can be literally the most boring stuff that you might not want to do, and like the stuff like that is what you gotta do, and it might be your ego that is like wanting to fly away somewhere else, even though you can feel it in your heart. The lesson can be that you gotta be patient with that. But in this journey, all of it, remember your creative force, okay? Creativity heals. And you creating, it can be creating, speaking, dancing, drawing. Doesn't have to be anything like that, even like just, what can it be? Like cooking. Cook. Then you can eat something good as well. Running, like doing some little combination while you walk, like walk around in circles, like to be a little glitch in the matrix, like. So this is a very long video, and maybe someone watched all of it, and that is great. Thank you, and bye for now, and blessings to you. I know you have everything. You are successful. I mean, you have everything that is needed for you to blossom, okay? You are blossoming.